The Blitz, sponsored by Moxie Credit Union and Michael Rocha with Atlantic Realty.
Welcome to The Blitz. I'm Frankie Tovar.
Hey, what's up, Frankie? I'm Loud Eddie Bruce. What up?
We have coverage from the first playoff game of the year, the 2019 high school football season.
Yes, we do.
Sac-Joaquin section Division I playoffs. That's a mouthful. All you need to know, though, is Turlock hosted Oro High, and they took down the Golden Eagles 42-21 in the Bulldogs' sixth straight playoff appearance.
And it was Del Oro's 11th straight Sac-Joaquin section playoff appearance, and they'd actually won 3 of the last 4 in Division II, yet they'd made the last 4 consecutive, which is pretty successful for them, obviously. And they look pretty good.
Yeah, so they got bumped up to the D1 bracket because they were doing so well down there. Unfortunately for them, they found out that there's levels to the game.
Yeah.
Turlock took them to school, quite literally.
Yeah, man.
400 total yards and 6 takeaways. That defense was on fire.
Yeah, and they only allowed 167 total yards from Del Oro. They only had 87 in the first half, and 47 was from one play. Just to give you a heads up, and they only forced Turlock to 1 turnover, and that ended up being a touchdown, which you guys...
You'll see. You don't want to give away too much, you know. We will say this, though. The score looks closer than it actually was.
It wasn't.
And you'll see exactly what we're talking about right now with the Friday night highlights. Let's get it started with the opening kickoff, and James Peterson has a trick up his sleeve.
I like
the ball
James.
comes loose. It's a close call, but Del Oro does recover at its own 30-yard line, but the Golden Eagle offense hits a rough patch as the big man Everett Johnson gets to the QB. That's intentional grounding and a sack, and the first possession ends in a punt. Fast forward to Del Oro's second possession, and it's a fumble. Ryan Lewis coughs at the ball, and Tyron Montgomery jumps on it at the Del Oro 47, and Brock Pasley takes over. First with an 11-yard pass to Holden Baldwin, then with a touchdown strike to Miguel Pena for 20 yards out to put Turlock up halfway through the first quarter. 7-0. What a way to set the tone.
Now we jump into the closing minutes of the second quarter, and this is going to be just one play. That's all it takes. Logan Stowe to Aiden Mack. That's a 47-yard touchdown pass. It's pretty much going to be the only pretty play for them. I'm just saying, 7-7 with 2:29 left in the second. And check this out, a fumble. What's going on? A lot's going to be happening, but Pasley gets it right back, thankfully for Turlock. And I'm just saying, maybe they're going to have a little scoring drive. Check this out. That's a nice little completion to his tight end, Cruz. Pasley to Cruz, 12-yard pickup, and then to Baldwin. This dude ended up being one of the players of the game, that's for sure. 38 yards on the far side. That looks nice. And they end this drive with a 10-yard run. Anthony Frias looking pretty. It's 14-7 with 44 seconds until halftime.
And Del Oro gets the ball back, and QB Logan Stowe is trying to mount a tying drive, but Tamir Bullock has other plans that include a strip. He took that ball away like a pickpocket at a concert. You can't ask for a better defensive play, and the Bulldog squad is in hysterics. So let's take another look at that and give the fans what they want, because this is the play of the game. Bullock spins away with the ball, and man, he says hashtag senior season. He gives his team a huge momentum shift, and you'll see in just a second that it pays dividends with halftime approaching, because Turlock takes over at the 28-yard line, and it's only going to take one play to find the end zone. Pasley drops back and finds Dalton Lynn with a teardrop touchdown. The teams enter halftime with a score of 21-7. Bulldogs up.
Ooh, looking nice. 4 punts to start off the third quarter. How about that, Frankie? But that's okay. That's not a problem. PI on Holden Baldwin. And we saw that a couple times, actually. They couldn't stop this dude. So what they do, they held him a lot. Pasley, though, check it out. Cruz, his man, 21 yards. He did a good job all night, too. Very clutch when they needed him. And Josiah Gonzalez, he ends it, dude. 22-yard run. That's a touchdown, 28-7 with 1:08 left in the third, man. What's up?
And the Golden Eagles are plummeting, so they resort to a trick play. Bear Buse attempts the pass, but he's hit as he throws, and that results in an interception at the hands of Jaden Jackson, who rumbles his way downfield. During his return, however, there's a flag for a block in the back, so even though he takes the ball to the Del Oro 3-yard line, Turlock is pushed back to the 36, and the Bulldogs eventually end up inside the 10. But Del Oro's defense, give them some credit, they stand strong with 4 consecutive run stops for a TOD.
Del Oro, man, they've been getting hit hard all game. And so they think they're going to get a little something right here with Stowe's pass. But, oh, Cruz, the other Cruz, he forces a fumble. And who gets it? Tamir Bullock. We love this guy. He had a heck of a game. And it's just going to take one play. That's it. Hasley, Baldwin. We might as well just be saying that all game long. That's what they did. 33-yard touchdown. 35-7 with 6:57 left in the game. This is over, dude. Turlock. Woo!
You think so, right? The score looks bad, but Del Oro isn't out of the game yet. Stowe targets Aiden Mack, draws a PI. Then the quarterback drops back and connects with Aiden Foster, who finds some running room and picks up 17 and tack on some extra yards thanks to another Turlock penalty. Then Stowe again looks for Mack, and again, pass interference is called on Oscar Cruz, and that sets up a 3-yard touchdown pass to McLean Stone King to make it 35-14. I think it might be a comeback.
Oh, my goodness. No. Oh, wait. I was thinking no. But, what's that going to be right there? Aiden Foster, the other Aiden, because he did a pretty good job. That's a 35-yard fumble recovery, 35-21 with 5:02 left in the game.
Oh, no.
Onside kick, and they onside kick, and they get it back. This is weird. This is crazy. What's going on? I know the sidelines, man, they were getting a little nervous. So was I, but that's okay. That's not a problem. Don't worry about it. You know why? I'm telling you right now. This guy's going to come through again. Tyler Montgomery, pick, and this is going to be pretty much it. I know that there's still something else left in the game right now, but that kind of does it.
Yeah, and like they've done all night, Turlock takes advantage of the turnover. Hasley connects with Baldwin on a 46-yard play, which sets up the final score of the night. A flat pass to Anthony Frias from 4 yards out. 42-21 is the final score, and Turlock picks up a first-round playoff victory.
Beautiful.
Good game, man. Good game, man. Good game. Good job, guys. Way to fight. Good game, man. Good fight, man.
And with that win, a huge congratulations to Turlock head coach James Peterson. Win number 70 and third home playoff victory. Awesome.
Yeah, and it's also the second straight year that Turlock has made it to the quarterfinals of the D1 playoffs. So kudos to you, Turlock and James Peterson. Now we'll talk about some of the players real quick in just a minute.
We will.
The individual stat stars. But first, let's recognize our sponsors, Moxie Credit Union and Michael Rocha of Atlantic Realty.
Are you in need of a loan? I'm talking a home loan, toy loan, auto loan, any sort of loan, Frankie. I mean, if you need any kind of loan like that, there's no need to look any further. Stop by a Moxie Credit Union on Gear and let them know that the Blitz sent you.
And if you get a loan and decide you need a home, well, check it out. You need to hit up Michael Rocha with Atlantic Realty. Whether you're a buyer or a seller, Michael Rocha will assist you every step of the way. As a buyer's agent, he'll make your ideal home a reality. And as a seller's agent, he'll get you top dollar for your home. I mean, who doesn't like money, right? So if you are in need of a home, contact Michael Rocha right now for more information. He's on Facebook and on Instagram.
So a couple of the individual standouts, which we like to mention. Anthony Frias, man, that kid is a workhorse. 18 carries, he had 59 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 through the air, and then 1 rushing. That looked really nice. And then the defense, a shout out, honestly.
Lights out.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to say, that D-line has been doing work all season long. We gave him shout outs. We talked to a bunch of those guys. I'm talking Jacob Masihi, Devin Bradley, the list goes on. But Tamir Bullock, man, a killer game. Obviously, 2 fumble recoveries. And then, dude, Tyler Montgomery, man, a fumble recovery. And then 2 interceptions, dude. Those 2 dudes were responsible for, I'm trying to do the math, 5 turnovers of the 6. That's pretty good.
And it's funny because Tamir was a little upset that Montgomery got another turnover because he got bested 2-3. He wanted to take the glory for himself. But at the end, I'm sure they're just happy to get the win. Now, you saw from the highlights, you can see from the stat sheet, the running games weren't really effective for either team because both teams were getting it done through the air. And if we're talking about an aerial attack for Turlock, you cannot talk about it without mentioning Holden Baldwin, the number 1 receiver for the Bulldogs. He had 7 catches, 163 yards, and 1 touchdown. He was last week's player of the game. This week, though, who's the player of the game? The quarterback, Brock Paisley, the guy who got all those passes to Baldwin. He went 14 for 20, 290 yards, and 4. That's right, 4 touchdowns. He played lights out. He played like a senior leader, and that's why he is the player of the game.
We just came out and played Turlock football, man. We just executed all sides of the ball. Defense went crazy. Offense had a good day. Special teams cleaned it up. Couldn't ask for anything more. The offensive coordinator said, hey, if you're going to put up big numbers on any week, it's going to be this week. They had some serious holes in the DBs, and we just attacked it, man. Everyone catching the ball, we were throwing, and the line up front was great, man, so no complaints. The past 4 years, the whole mindset is playoffs, make a run in playoffs. We get our stuff done in regular season, but, we came out energy. Seniors, it's our last home game. So we came out with a real fire, and it showed tonight. The defense has been there for us all year. They kill it, man, day in, day out. They put up picks, turnovers, fumbles, everything, and they pressure the quarterback. We can't ask for anything else. When you put 21 on a team like Del Oro, and you hold them, you can't ask for anything more. We got Oak Ridge again, so a little revenge tour going on. We just got to dial down and really work hard in practice, and it'll show on Friday night.
So I'm sure Turlock will be celebrating this big win tonight, but when Monday rolls around, they have a lot of work on their hands because they have to prepare for a very tough playoff team, a championship caliber team in Oak Ridge High. They'll be traveling to face that team.
And that's the number 2 seed to be exact, obviously. 8-2, and they beat Turlock last year 27-9. I know Turlock, we heard some noises around the sideline saying they kind of want that game back. So I think they want that game back.
Oh, yeah. Brock even said it himself. It's a revenge tour, so to speak. So we'll see if they can take down Oak Ridge. It'll be a big feat. But this is a Turlock squad that can get it done compared to some in the past. So we'll see if that happens. Other teams, though. There's some other teams playing next week playoffs. Houston High, we have to give them a shout out. We didn't shut them out last week because we didn't think they would make it in with 4 wins.
They snuck in there, man.
They snuck in, and not only did they sneak into the playoff picture, they beat Linden. And now they'll be playing Escalon next week, which is going to be a tall order. We'll see what they can do.
Nothing is impossible, though.
Nothing
We're not
is
going to count it
impossible.
out. But that was awesome.
Escalon's the number 1 seed, though. So that's going to be a tough game for Houston. Another team, though, that's going to be playing next week is Denair,
In the same bracket, too, though, that we're going to be covering. Sorry, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that, though. First, let's give a shout-out to a defeating state champion, Denair, because they'll be hosting a home game as well.
They are. They're going to be playing a familiar foe in league, LeGrand. And you guys already saw that if you're familiar with Denair playing LeGrand, obviously. It's just the second time around, though, is always different. I'll tell you what, LeGrand's probably going to come out much more prepared than last time.
You would think so, right?
Obviously.
And if Denair wins that game, they will make their second straight section championship appearance.
That'd be nice.
1 win and you're in for Denair. We'll see if they can do it. But as you mentioned, another TVL game is happening for playoffs.
Excited.
Hillmar High will be hosting a playoff game, and we're going to be there. And Eddie, who is Hillmar going to be playing?
They're going to be playing Bear River, and they're the number 2 seed, and that looks pretty nice. And they're also looking to repeat as well.
Absolutely. So we'll be covering that game. And if you look at the brackets, if Hillmar can win and then win again, and if things play out the way we think it might, Escalon might win as well, we might be looking at a rivalry championship game.
It's possible.
It's happened before. Actually, my first year as sports reporter here, I covered Hillmar versus Escalon when Hillmar beat them by a field goal. But we're getting way ahead of ourselves. First, Hillmar has to take on and take down Bear River, and you can catch that game next week at turlockjournal.com. And of course, we say it every week. If you're on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, you can follow us at Turlock Journal. So until next week, when we bring you a Yellow Jacket showdown, I'm Frankie Tovar.
I'm Loud Eddie Ruiz.
Good night.